Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, on va parler des pronoms relatifs. Now, some of you may be familiar with this from 102, but for those of you who aren't, who are coming from high school, I would encourage you to go over the two videos that I've made last year when I was teaching 102, because that will help you understand the very basics of it. But because you need to know this for 111 as well, I'll be going over all of the ones that you'll need to know for an exam or even for the duration of the course. Les pronoms relatifs. So you may have guessed already when you see pronom, that means that we are trying to not repeat something, right? So we've seen pronom I, pronom un, COD, COI. So you're trying to éviter la répétition. You're trying to not be repeating something. The way you're going to be seeing on an exam, very similar to the other pronouns that we have seen so far. You're going to have two sentences. You're going to be linking these two sentences into one. And of course, you're not going to be repeating whatever we don't want you to repeat. So I'll explain a bit more, but before we get into it, these are the four that we're going to be talking about for this video. Starting with le pronom relatif qui. Le pronom relatif qui, c'est un sujet. Okay, so when it comes to this pronoun, you're trying to replace either a person or something, or an object. Par exemple, c'est un homme, il m'aime. Okay, so you're trying to link these two sentences so that you only have one, and then you're trying to not repeat un homme. Okay, so you could either have c'est un homme m'aime, right? So that's double repetition, we don't want that. But you could either be replacing that already with a subject. So the way that you will do this is c'est un homme qui m'aime, okay? And see here that the il is acting like a subject, le sujet, right? And if you were to remove that il, this part of the sentence cannot exist by itself. So that tells you that you need a qui there because this will not exist before its subject. Here, the subject is qui. All right, so that's a way for you to know. I know for the exam, it is going to be fill in the blanks. So a little tip for you is if you see that it's starting with a verb, right? The other part of the sentence is starting with a verb or something that it will not be able to stand by itself. You always go with qui because that tells you that it will be the subject. Okay, here as well, you see that il is the subject. That means that you're going to be going with qui, right? Because what you're going to be replacing is a subject. Let's see in a case where you have une chose or an object. C'est un livre, il est intéressant. Okay, let's just say you don't want to be repeating the il again. You're trying to link these two sentences together. So you're going to be writing c'est un livre qui est intéressant. Okay, again, whatever follows is a verb. So that tells you that you're going to be using qui. And if you were to look at the sentence here, forget about everything right here. Okay, let's just forget about that. Can this stand by itself? Can you just walk into a room and say est intéressant? We won't know what you're talking about, right? So you need the subject, which is this one, for it to exist. So that tells you that it's qui. Okay, and again, like I've said multiple times, the qui, when it comes to pronom relatif, it's replacing the subject in the first sentence or in the second sentence. Okay. All right. Le pronom relatif que ou QU apostrophe. So the QU apostrophe is only if whatever follows has a vowel. Okay, it's as simple as that. Or an H muet. Okay, a mute H. For que, QU apostrophe, whatever you're trying to replace is a COD. Okay, it's not a subject for this one, it's a COD. And again, it's replacing either a person or something or an object. For instance, let's see for an instance where we have a person. J'ai vu Léa. Je n'ai pas vu Léa depuis longtemps. Okay, we already see that right now. It's very repetitive. It's very mundane, right? We don't like sentences like that. So we're not only going to be not repeating Léa, we're going to try to link these two together. J'ai vu Léa. Okay, let's take a look at the second sentence actually. Je n'ai pas vu qui? Léa, right? So you're asking the question qui here, which tells you that Léa is a COD, right? So that means that when it comes to a COD, whatever you're trying to replace, if it's a COD, you're going to be using que. So the way you're going to do it is you use the first sentence, j'ai vu Léa que, all right? So this is the part where, this is the binding factor of these two sentences, okay? J'ai vu Léa que je n'ai pas vu depuis longtemps. All right? What is que replacing? It's Léa. And let's just say you have this as a multiple choice. Remember with qui, the second sentence cannot stand by itself because it does not have a subject. This sentence, however, already has a subject. This is the subject. So if, let's just say I didn't have this part of the sentence, I could walk into a room and say that, and say a sentence like that, and someone might understand me, right? Because I have a subject, I have a verb, and then I have the complement. Okay, so if you're using, let's just say, this is the exam question, the minute you see a subject that follows, that tells you, okay, well, I don't need another subject, so I'm not going to be using qui, I'm going to be using que. Right? Let's see another example where for this one we have an object. Il a acheté une maison, il va transformer la maison. Again, we don't want to be repeating la maison. Il va transformer quoi? La maison, so that tells us that la maison is a COD, n'est-ce pas? Il a acheté une maison que il va transformer. So now because we can't say que il va because we have a vowel here, we're just going to drop the E and add an apostrophe. All right? So again, this sentence, il va transformer, can, it's not ideal, but it can stand by itself. So you have, again, a subject already, and you have your verb. Now, let's talk about something that we haven't seen in 102, les pronoms relatifs avec qui et à qui. This too depends on the verb, okay? So we have seen COE, it depends on the verb when it comes to whether or not c'est intransitif ou transitif, n'est-ce pas? So when it comes to COE, you have verbs like these, right? That's always followed by à. La préposition à. Okay? Avec qui et à qui, let me put this in italique, sont des COI. But you really need to remember this. This is only for people. C'est réservé pour les personnes. You will never be using these two when it comes to an object. And you're trying to use this as a pronom relatif. Let's take a look. À qui? C'est l'homme. Je parle à l'homme. We have seen before that parler is an intransitive verb. I'm not even sure if that's an English word. C'est un verbe intransitif, right? So if I just had this right now, just this sentence, and I were to ask you to replace l'homme by a COE, you would say je lui parle, right? Because you're going to be asking the question, je parle à qui? À l'homme, all right? But if I have two sentences and then I were to ask you to link these two sentences together, the way you're going to be doing this, and the reason why you know that you're going to be using à qui is look at the prepositions before the word that you're trying to replace. It's à. So, c'est l'homme à qui je parle. All right, so seeing that second sentence that I'm not repeating à l'homme here again, okay, je parle à qui? À l'homme. All right, so the à qui here acts as a COE, sorry. Ce sont des personnes, nous avons téléphoné à ces personnes. Okay, again here, look at the second sentence. Do you see the prepositions à before the ces personnes? So that will tell you that you're going to be using à qui. All right, so for this one, you're trying to not repeat the ces personnes, n'est-ce pas? So what you're going to be doing is look at the prepositions again, okay? Place these prepositions right here. So remember the binding factor. So, ce sont des personnes à qui nous avons téléphoné. So for this one, it is a bit different from the a and the de that we're used to when it comes to the COE. But the reason it's a COE is that we're still dealing with the preposition. Okay, so when I'm asking the question here, je discute avec qui? So I'm still using the preposition avec to ask the question. Okay, so let's take a look. La femme est sympa, je discute avec la femme. I don't want to be repeating this again. Okay, when I see a preposition before the the COE that I'm trying to replace it with, I'm going to use this as a binding factor, and then I'm going to be adding the qui because again, I'm replacing la femme with qui, okay? La femme est sympa avec qui je discute. All right? So you're just, for these ones, you're just playing with the prepositions that you have. All right? So you're just using the preposition that's in the second sentence. You're putting that in the middle, and then you're adding the qui after. So let's take a look at some questions. This is from your cahier d'activité, okay? But this is something that you might see on an exam, for instance, okay? Je connais un bon guide. Ce guide fait découvrir des lieux inhabituels. So this is something that you're going to be replacing, right? Because you keep seeing this in the second sentence, so that tells you that you don't want to be repeating yourself, okay? What is the role of ce guide in this sentence? I would say it's a subject, right? Because if I were to remove that, I only have a verb. I don't have an actor, you know? So, je connais un bon guide. The first sentence remains the same. Now, because it's a subject, qui fait découvrir des lieux inhabituels. Okay? So this is your pronom relatif. And again, if you just look right next to it, you see a verb and not another subject. So that tells you that you need the qui here. Ce sont des touristes. Vous devez parler en anglais à ces touristes. Right? So this is the part that you don't want to be repeating again because you already saw that in the first sentence. But because you have a little preposition here, that tells you that you're going to be using à qui, right? Ce sont des touristes à qui vous devez parler en anglais. Okay? And just a side note, parler is un verbe intransitif. All right, so you're always going to be seeing the a when it comes to parler. C'est Myriam, j'ai visité Paris avec Myriam. All right, so that's another example where you see a preposition. So that tells you that you will be using avec qui, right? C'est Myriam avec qui j'ai visité Paris. All right. I should probably highlight the ones that I don't want in my sentence. Sorry about that. Okay, and this one would be... Okay, that one was done. All right. Je connais des bistrots sympas. Les Parisiens fréquentent ces bistrots. Again, we already know what we're going to be replacing. Je connais des bistrots sympas. Les Parisiens fréquentent. Again, here we don't see any prepositions, so that tells us that we're only going to be dealing with either qui or que or QU apostrophe. Okay, so les Parisiens fréquentent quoi? Ces bistrots. Que les... Oops. Again, here you have the que, right? If you look right next to it, you already have a sujet, so you know for a fact that you're on the right track, that you didn't put qui here. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. I know it was very long. I just wanted to be very detailed. Again, please take a look at the other videos I made last year so that you have more exercise and guidance when it comes to pronom relatif. D'accord? Bonne journée à tout le monde et merci beaucoup.